So you've been able to take the Bloods and the Crips and incorporate it and trademark it. You know, where did that whole idea and everything come from?
Well, it came from me knowing that we have as much equity in our culture as McDonald's and Coca-Cola, first of all. You know, we've been robbed of our history and culture with Black Panthers. Warner Brothers came along and, you know, did what J. Edgar Hoover couldn't do with the COINTELPRO, you know, and completely wiped out our history. We're probably the 50th on Google search, on the 50th page of Black Panthers. Because what you're going to get now is Wakanda, some made up, some recreated, some whatever they thought they wanted to do with our history. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you're going to get now. And eventually it would have come to that with Crips and Bloods. It would have come to that. And it crossed my mind. And it says, well, what do? Get everybody together as a collective, or do you go and handle it now and you keep it for safe keeping? And when it's time for everybody to come to the board, then we do whatever we need to do with it. And that's what I needed to do. I needed to go, because when you're serious about your cripping, you do serious things. You see what I'm saying? And so that was a serious move that I made, and I did it on behalf of the culture, not for myself. And I mean, I have enough business savvy and experience to know when to make a move. And so I did. And, you know, not that I'm the leader of it or anything like that, because Crips don't have a leader. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's where it came from. You know, I didn't want our culture to be stolen in that sense, in that manner that it has been done with the Black Panthers. Their heirs can't even use it. They don't have a museum. They don't have anything, Black Panthers. There's nothing there, because everything Black Panther now is Warner Brothers. And they're doing a Black Panthers 3. I didn't even know there was a 2.
So nobody ever trademarked it or anything, the Black Panthers at all? So
No.
they came along years later, and I'm assuming that they trademarked Black Panther at this point.
Yeah, that's who has it. Warner Brothers has the trademark.
That's crazy.
Warner Brothers has the trademark. Yep. And who did the box office numbers? My brothers and sisters. We turned out in droves. We ran those numbers up. We broke records. You know what I'm saying? We did all that. For what? Because we were too blind to see that they had, you know, pulled the wool over our eyes. Took your history. You went and paid them and congratulated them and patted them on the back for doing such a good job that, but what your kids gonna teach their kids about where we came from? Or the little piece that we did have in this American history? It's all gone.
Damn.
And if they could do that with the Crips and Bloods, they do the same thing. For sure they would. Why not? Absolutely.
So you trademark it. And what year did you trademark it?
I believe it was 2018. I believe it was 2018.
Okay. And now, I mean, because the Bloods and Crips have been around, you know, since the 70s, 60s. So it had been around a while and nobody really had this idea. You get this idea, and you being a former Crip, you know, you trademark the Bloods. So I don't know. I mean, are people offended by that at all?
Well, see, that's the thing. I wasn't trying to do it to undermine our culture or anybody. You know, my mindset is different now. I'm not an active gang member. It's not a me. It's us as a collective. You know, I'm a mother, and that's what it's about. So it was only right for me to look out for the Bloods as well, you know? And so I did that. Yeah.
Okay. The Crips and the Bloods, which most gangs have a really big history of violence. You know, are you ever worried that, you know, owning this and being kind of like the face of it now, you know, are you worried about like any RICOs or any, you know, investigations or any negative consequences?
No, because this is the legitimate side of the organization. This is the legitimate side of the organization, and anybody who has any sense about themselves would want to come on over to the legitimate side of the organization. I've had calls from mostly back east though. And I had one specific call from an attorney in New York. And he had a client who had charges and gang enhancements and that kind of thing. And so he called and he says, is this like the gang, Crips? And I said, yeah. And he goes, you guys are a corporation? I said, yes. And so he went on to explain to me about his client that he had and he's facing these charges. And if there was something that I could do for him to give him something in writing to say that Crips weren't just an illegal entity. And I said, well, no, I can't give you that. But he goes, okay, as long as I was able to Google you and it says that you all are a corporation, I'm going to use this in an argument in court for my client. And he did it. Okay. He used it and he proved to them that they weren't just a street gang. Yeah. And whatever these enhancements were, he got his client off from the enhancements. I don't know what he did, how he did it, but that's what, the conversation that he and I had.
What's up? This is Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Capone News.